Thank you, Francis, for joining us. Now, Francis, what's happening today in the region?
Well, effectively, there is a strike that's been called by the major trade unions across Catalonia. This was called yesterday directly in a response to what happened on Sunday here. The actions of the police force that you mentioned, of course, the police that are from outside of Catalonia, enforcing the legislation from the Madrid government, who deems the referendum on Sunday to be illegal. But as we saw with our own eyes, enforcing it in quite a heavy-handed manner. So the trade unions have called this strike. Catalonia is quiet. Not everything has closed down, but many shops have closed down. Public transport is slowing down, although some trams are running. The airport, there was some talk that may be closed, but taxis is taking people there and flights are still going in and out. But there's certainly an air of making yet another statement alongside what we saw yesterday at demonstrations across Barcelona.
And Francis, would you say that the region is more unified or divided after the events of the weekend?
There's a sense of unity here, but the unity is quite marked in response to what happened. It's a unity against the government, the Prime Minister, excuse me, Mariano Rajoy in Madrid, and to the police action. It's hard to determine exactly what unity there is for Catalan independence, but there's certainly a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and also a lot of sadness as to what occurred. Now, whether this momentum is carried forward remains to be seen, but what we've seen over the last few days is an incredible amount of passion, and it's a passion for a cause that's been exacerbated by those actions on Sunday. The rallies we saw yesterday, one in particular, one of the main squares in town, and then a silent march. It was being buzzed by some police helicopters. The reaction to the police helicopters when they come over is visceral. They're seen as a representation of Madrid, of an elitism. So Catalan identity is one thing, but certainly there is unity regarding the actions of the Madrid government and the Spanish police force at the weekend.
And Francis, what more have we heard, or anything if at all, from the Catalan leader who said he'd be declaring independence 48 hours after the vote? That's the day right now.
Yeah, he said that some time ago, and he walked back from that in the immediate hours afterwards. He's made some statements that could be described as conciliatory. He's made the point, as have other Catalan politicians we met, as indeed people on the street, that they've wanted to talk, they wanted to establish a scenario moving forward with the government in Madrid for a long time, and this has been denied to them. It's quite clear that some 10, 15 years ago, the percentage of people here who were in favour of Catalan independence was small compared to what it is if you took a poll now. And a lot of people, a lot of analysts who've spoken to, as well as people on the street, cite this as a direct response to a lack of cooperation, a lack of dialogue with Madrid. It does seem at some stage there is going to be some dialogue, because this has to move forward with dialogue, and people are very strongly behind the democratic process. They want to do things the right way, hence the frustration, excuse me, the sadness, the anger regarding events on Sunday.
Francis, thanks so much for the update. Francis Collins there for us in Barcelona.